MAGA hates women and girls. Yes, they do. Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. And I am just disgusted and exhausted and deeply, deeply troubled that so many people, including many people whom I call friends, stand with a movement, a cult, and its leaders who hate us. And there is no further proof than the clearly cherry-picked Epstein files that were released today by the Justice Department, if we can even call it that, which is a joke because anyone with a clue or a curiosity knows that Donald Trump was all over Jeffrey Epstein's flight logs, who hung out with him all the time and partied with him and visited his island. And yes, I have personally read through court documents of Trump's alleged sex assaults against children, against minors. So now let's take that monstrosity and add it to the Trump regime's welcome to America with open arms to the Tate brothers, who magically had their Romanian travel ban lifted and flew into the U.S. today on a private jet.
And our prosecutor recently decided, because we have no active indictment in court, to let us go and return. This is a democratic society. It's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, as my brother and I are.
Andrew and his brother Tristan face trial on charges of rape, sex with a minor, human trafficking, and money laundering in Romania. The brothers also face sex abuse charges in the UK, where they also hold citizenship, as well as here in the US. Here's some more background from CNN.
Andrew Tate, a self-proclaimed misogynist, and his brother Tristan, landing in Fort Lauderdale, refusing to answer if President Donald Trump helped them return to the United States. The brothers, online influencers, both permitted to travel out of Romania after prosecutors lifted a years-long travel ban.
Listen. We live in a democratic society where it's innocent until proven guilty, and I think my brother and I are largely misunderstood. I think it's extremely important that we stop allowing media spin, wrap-up smears, lies, or carefully constructed narratives.
Police arrested the Tate brothers in December 2022 and later charged them with offences including rape and human trafficking. Allegations they deny.
We're innocent until proven guilty in any of this.
Legal proceedings in Romania are still ongoing, leading many to question why Romanian prosecutors have now chosen to lift the travel ban, and what connections there may be to the Trump administration. Tate has long been a vocal supporter of the US president, posting just 2 weeks ago, "The Tates will be free. Trump is the president."
The golden age of America begins right now.
I am so excited for the next 4 years.
And sharing this video on social media just last week. Earlier this month, the Financial Times reported, citing sources, that the Trump administration had put pressure on Romanian authorities to lift the travel restriction. First through a phone call, then through a meeting between Trump's special envoy, Richard Grenell, and Romania's foreign minister at the Munich Security Conference. Romania's foreign minister has acknowledged that discussions took place, though the foreign ministry claims there was no such pressure from the Trump administration. A lawyer representing some of the alleged victims of Andrew Tate has said there is clear evidence to support the allegations against him, calling the decision disgusting and accusing the US government of, quote, lobbying for their release.
They're trying to tell you X. The truth is Y.
In recent years, Andrew Tate shot to internet fame, racking up billions of views on TikTok, with videos centered on his views on male dominance, female submission, and wealth.
I don't think the world has ever been equal. I'm saying that the modern society we live in has been built by men.
And Tate just last week writing, "Hate me all you want. Women are all sex workers." Comments like those and the charges in Romania, why Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says the brothers aren't welcome in his state.
No, Florida is not a place where you're welcome. Just that type of conduct.
Neda Bashir, CNN.
I mean, for God's sakes, even Ron DeSantis is disgusted. That's a pretty low bar. So that should tell you something about how revolting this whole situation is for people in MAGAverse even. So this is what the Trump regime is doing on the global stage, pressuring other nations to let accused violent criminals free, as well as, of course, siding with North Korea and Russia against President Zelensky and his fight for democracy. Oh my God, I miss Joe Biden so effing much, like every hour of every day. Ugh. Speaking of Trump's stellar team, here's a White House lawyer, I think we loosely use that term, Alina Habba, cheerleading Andrew Tate on a podcast from a couple months ago.
Hi.
Hello, Alina.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan.
Well, nice
Big
to meet
fan.
you. I'm a fan. You're the one saving Trump. You're doing more important work than me.
America, not just Trump. And I agree with everything you just said. And I think that your anger is the same that President Trump has for our country. And the time is now for us to stop being wimps. I think that's exactly the right sentiment. And I also have to say that I sympathize with you because I think you go through a lot of the same show me the person, I'll find the crime that President Trump has gone through. And
I'm a big fan. You want to know who Alina Habba is a big fan of? Here you go. In his own words, here is Andrew Tate talking about his women, the women he proudly pimps and traffics, and how he handles them.
Here's a little, they didn't teach you in self-defense? Here's a little move. When I grab you by your neck and you start annoying me, trying to resist, and I just, and then I grab you by your neck again. Then what the fuck are you gonna do when your face is collapsed and your fucking cheekbone's broken? You ain't gonna do shit but cry.
I guarantee I changed the way you look at sex forever. You're gonna be fucking crying. I won't cry. I bet you cry, bitch. I bet you fucking cry. You're saying I wouldn't cry. You're challenging me to a fight. You're saying I can't hurt you. You're out of your fucking mind? I don't even have to fuck you. Forget the sex part. That's a distraction. My dick can stay in my pants. I'll just start beating the shit out of you. How about that? We walk in the bedroom. I start kicking your ass. No sex. No sex involved. But you cry then.
I perfected this in pimp school. When I got my PhD, we had to practice if a girl comes at you, you cheater, you're cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and you grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch! Her panties get wet. Machete's on the floor, her panties are all wet. You go, fuck her. That's how it goes. Slap, slap, grab, choke, shut up, bitch, sex. These are the basic moves of pimping.
This is the message in the manosphere that young men are eating up. This is the guy that J.D. Vance, the sitting vice president of the United States, supports, goes on podcasts and says that Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan were wrongly accused. Here's a text I got today from one of my dear friends when she found out that the Tate brothers were free and on their way to the U.S. She wrote, I am so upset. I just got my son off this whole Andrew Tate bullshit. Now this is going to start all over with the young men worshiping him in every word that he says, his exposure to him. I just can't even put it into words. I am so, so upset. And it's true. Her son went through a real time. He's a teenager in high school with his obsession of following Andrew Tate and thinking that you know, he's the man. And she worked so hard to get him off of that. And here's Trump. And his, fellow regime. I really don't like to call it an administration because it's, in my view, a regime, bringing them back into the United States and lauding them and supporting them. And so this is just one story of how this is going to impact one household. And it's just so upsetting to her and what she's going to have to deal with and trying to, make sure that deprogram her son. And this is the toxic impact that will result in the harming of many other women and girls because Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and their insatiable, misogynistic, fragile egos just had to clear the way for these monsters who are just like them.
President Trump, Andrew and Tristan Tate landed in Florida today on a private jet after being released from custody in Romania. They are accused rapists, human traffickers, not thought of as good people in many circles. Did your administration pressure the Romanian government to release them? And if so,
I know nothing about that. I don't know. You're saying he's on a plane right now?
He's back. They already did.
Yeah, I just know nothing about it. We'll check it out. We'll let you know.
I do. Look, obviously this involves, there's an English element here, so obviously it's important that justice is done, and human trafficking is obviously to my mind, a security risk. And so I will catch up with the story in due course.
Are you aware?
So there you have Donald Trump sitting with the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer. And of course, Trump is lying. He's slurring because he makes no sense. His dementia is clearly getting worse. He absolutely made sure that the Tate brothers were cleared to get the travel ban lifted from Romania and into the US. He's, I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do, you lying sack of orange. These disgusting, violent, evil men. And what do you want to bet? That the Tate brothers will be high-fiving it with the fellow sex predators club at Mar-a-Lago this weekend. I mean, just mark me. That's where they will be hobnobbing it with Trump and Musk and all the other members of the SA club. Just fucking vile and revolting, and a slap in the face of every woman and little girl in the United States and around the world, and just another embarrassment to America's reputation around the world. Here's what John O'Brennan, who is a professor of European politics, had to say about this mess. The United States is now the place the worst people in the world flee to in order to escape criminal charges. How long before the Tate brothers are offered jobs in the Trump administration? You know, women have always been under attack since essentially the beginning of time. And even though it's chronologically not been very long since President Joe Biden and Kamala Harris left office, it feels like forever chronologically, or, you know, it feels like forever. It feels like we have literally gone back to medieval times where women are in dungeons and being ordered to just carry water for the men. And I remember, you know, President Joe Biden was one of the key authors of the Violence Against Women Act. But since Donald Trump and his ilk took office, misogynists feel ever more emboldened. And it is very depressing to see women dragged out of town halls in zip ties for using their right to free speech. I'm referring to the incident in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. And violent sex traffickers flown into Mar-a-Lago on private jets, like red carpet treatment for men who are accused of raping little girls and violently abusing women. What the fuck are we doing? You know, but we cannot fold, because that's what they expect us to do. They want us to be afraid and to quiver, you know, under the eye. Whoops. They want us to be afraid and terrified at their presence and you know, lay down. No, we're not going to do that. I'm asking you not to do that. I'm asking you, my sisters, our daughters, our nieces, our friends. We can't do that. It makes me so mad. I just hate it that this is where our nation is right now. So flipping F them. Screw them. Really, these are not the words I want to say, but I'm trying to limit the saltiness that I get into on some of these YouTube videos. But I really feel my Jasmine Crockett energy. If you heard what she said the other day on the Capitol steps, like, F them. This is not okay. This is a war against women and our freedoms and our rights. And we told them what would happen. We told these MAGA cult members, and I'm thinking of one of my best friends, like, how can you be part of this when you have a daughter? Like, not that she watches these videos, but my God, this is what you want for your daughter? Stephanie? I'm saying her name. I'm horrified. Well, I'm going to fight for your daughter, and I'm going to fight for my nieces and for all of us. And I really am putting a call out to men too, to be part of the feminist movement. Where were the men at that town hall in Idaho? I didn't see them. None of them were running to help that woman who was dragged out by the brown shirts. It's just like, wow. I mean, this is definitely a dark time in history. Obviously, if you're watching MeidasTouch, if you're part of the Meidas Mighty, you would know that. But I'm wondering when the rest of these people in this zombie coma are going to wake up, because, like, we got to fight like hell. Yeah, I don't have the answers other than we can't fold. We can't. And we need to be in community and encouraging one another and crying with each other on days that we need to cry. And there's been a lot of them for me ever since November 5th. I'd be lying if I told you that I don't cry a lot. But I'm not going to lie down and just be like, I quit. So anyway, thank you for watching. You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky most often. I do show up on TikTok, but those are the places I am most active on. And I appreciate you guys being part of the community here on the MeidasTouch Network. Let's keep rocking. Let's keep growing. Let's keep supporting independent media, because my heavens, we see what's happening with corporate media lately, and we need to continue to share and spread the truth and to fight back against the fascism that is running our federal government at the moment. All right, I'll see you back here soon. Peace.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.